How motivated were you? That had to be tough sitting the other night. I know you were back there cheering for them, but how motivated were you tonight?
Always motivated. Never want to not be on the court with my teammates, but they handle business without me. And like you said, I was on the sideline cheering them on.
Aaronette, you picked up 2 early fouls and then didn't foul for the rest of the game. I guess, can you talk a little bit about your foul discipline and how you're working on that overall?
I don't really think it's something I work on. I just try to play aggressive. Sometimes that goes my way, sometimes it doesn't. I think, like my second foul, just coming down, I have to stop doing that, just contest shots high instead of trying to block them. But I'm just going to keep working to be more disciplined so I can be in the game for longer.
I guess I should have asked it. Is it hard to be aggressive like you like to be and are good at, and also not foul?
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest challenge because it affects me offensively too, just trying not to, be susceptible to charges when I get into foul trouble. So it's a learning lesson.
Buggs, they didn't score for the last 6 minutes of the first quarter. What went into that stretch and just stopping them on the defensive end?
Just being aggressive on defense. We just needed to get stops so we could fuel our offense. So just getting stops and being focused on our assignments.
Aaronette, Kayla comes in, scored 6 big points in the second quarter. What have you seen from her, and how cool is that?
Honestly, the last 2 games that Kayla has come in, she's made an immediate impact. And so we're all just so proud of her to finally see, kind of her just climb over that hump that you go through when you first get to college. Just that adjustment. I feel like she's finally starting to get it, and she's going to be able to do big things if she keeps it up.
Buggs, we're not going to talk to y'all before you go play UCLA. So how much are you looking forward to that opportunity to, go to New Jersey and play against the #1 team in the nation?
That's huge, and it just gives us a bigger opportunity to showcase who we are, and I'm pretty sure everyone's excited. It's a really exciting opportunity for us.
Nettie, it seemed like, and this was a little bit like last game too, like y'all were going inside quite a bit. Like you didn't think they could defend you in there. 52 points in the paint. How big a deal was that that's really kind of both of y'all combined, but others too. But
Yeah, I think that's been a big emphasis recently, just to, play through the paint from all positions. And I think that's when we get our best results. So just focusing on that. And I feel like we've been doing a good job of that recently. So we have to keep playing through the paint.
Buggs, 5 straight wins for this team. What's really been different in these past 5 games?
Just focus. We know we're at a point in the season where nothing's going to be given to us. It's not easy. So we've been really emphasizing in practice, like we have to focus on each team we play, not look ahead, and just really fix our mistakes because there's no time for mess-ups and do-overs. So we just have to really be focused from here on out.
Aaronette, Jada's been just an assist machine the past 2 games with 21. What have you seen from her just in terms of passing the ball and feeding you guys in the post?
Yeah, Jada's a really good playmaker. She's really good at just finding people when they're in the right spots, and she's a very unselfish player. So, all these assists are just a testament to the kind of basketball that she plays, but she's just a really good facilitator for us.
Nettie, whatever. Obviously spent most of your career before now in the Pac-12. What about just playing UCLA, a team that I'm guessing you're at least familiar with?
Yes, definitely familiar with UCLA. They're always a really, really good team. And them being #1, I feel like this is just a really good opportunity for us to get back into the rankings and also back into the conversations of a team that's capable of winning a championship. So I feel like we're definitely going to make the most of this opportunity.
Coach, how important is it to get Nettie going, early, and also to have her avoid foul trouble?
That'd be great, wouldn't it be?
Is that a hard thing to balance?
Well, I thought the game plan was to play fast, to rim run, and to feed the post. And we were rim running, and we were shooting threes. And so she only played 3 minutes, but sometimes when post players run really hard and they don't get touches, they tend to start hacking and swinging, and she can't do that. She's too valuable to us. As you can see, when we play 2 and through, really good things tend to happen. But I think we have to get her the ball. We have to see what other teams are going to do against her. At times, she's going to have some assists. Like when help comes, she's going to have to make the kick out, the simple kick out play. I thought she had one or two opportunities today to do that on her 3 actually, but I think she's an advantage for us, and when we don't use that advantage, it's frustrating. When we try to, like, we ran our first play wrong. We didn't run in transition and get her the ball, and then all of a sudden we settled in and played fast and good things happened. But we need to start better for sure.
Can you talk about Kayla's impact specifically in the second quarter with those 6 points in the defense?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to convince her to not save the ball to the other team when she's falling out of bounds. But other than that, I thought she's really smart. Needs to talk louder and sooner and all those things. But she's a really smart basketball player. She's a really skilled basketball player. The speed of the game is the game's starting to slow down a little bit for her. I think the last game, being ready and getting opportunity really helped today. And I didn't know how many minutes she would get today because they only have one true post player. I knew, we were going to get Kyla some minutes. And so depending on how the game goes, you become kind of that third 5 player, and it's really hard to play 2 5s or, really against teams like this that are playing 4 guards. And then, sometimes they're 5 guards when they take McFarland out. But I thought she did a really, really good job. I thought her ball screen D was good. Her rotations were solid. She was rebounding the basketball, and then, she's just making simple plays on offense or, highlight plays. But, I thought she was really patient on her catches.
Yeah, I guess how much of an emphasis was it going inside? I mean, 52 bench points. It seemed a little bit like the Utah game in the sense that it looked like y'all felt like y'all could score in there kind of at will.
Yeah, I mean, they went zone, and he doesn't play a lot of zone. Huey plays some zone, but not a lot. And with one-day prep, we certainly could use some work on our zone offense because we haven't seen zone in a while. But what they do and who they are is a pressure man team. And so, I don't know that we attacked the zone great at times, because we can still play through the paint against the zone. But, I think when we're not making shots, that's where we have to go. I mean, we just weren't making open threes. I mean, we had more air balls tonight than I've seen in the last 2 months, I feel like, combined. And, we had reboundable shots had they not missed by so much. And so, you have to play through the paint, and I think it should be what we do anyway with Nettie, with the way Buggs can score around the rim, with the way we can put downhill pressure with Jada and Sarah, and Aaliyah and Yaya. We need to get a piece of the paint. I thought we over-penetrated at times, and that hurt us in terms of our kick-out passes. We had some charges because we didn't play off 2 and make the drop pass or the kickoff pass. But when you're not making shots, you need to attack the closeout. So we mixed that in better as the game went along. We shot fewer threes in the second half, but because it wasn't good. And we shot the same. Either way, it was bad.
Coach, y'all have a lot of momentum going on, 5-game win streak. What's kind of been different in these 5 games?
I think we've had a lot of different people step up. I think we're at our best when Sarah and Jada are really getting people involved. When we're playing to Nettie, there have been games this year where she hasn't gotten enough shot attempts. 10 attempts with 4 free throws in 21 minutes is pretty good. She's got to stay on the floor for 28. I played her longer in the third and into the fourth than I would have liked to, but since she didn't play in the first, I wanted to keep her going and feeding her. But it would be ideal to kind of play her in that 14 minutes in the first half, 14 minutes in the second half, and and be able to get 15 shots for her. But I liked her production. Her offensive rebound putback was just crazy athletic elite. So continuing to get her to want to rebound is really important for this team. She's a really good box out player, but we need her to sometimes just go get it and really use her size to go get the ball.
Do you feel like Sarah is kind of settled into a groove here over these last few games? I mean, she's not scoring a whole lot, but she's dishing out and assisting and kind of making those effort plays that kind of.
Yeah, I think Sarah's been really solid. I thought against Utah, they made the decision to take her out of the game, Neepkins did a really good job of being physical, making catches hard. They top blocked her on pin downs, or got aggressive enough that we couldn't get her clean off of screens. So her separation skills, maybe aren't there in that situation. But I think she's obviously comfortable and confident. She didn't make shots today, or she would have had a really, really good line. I thought she was solid defensively. She's always solid defensively until she gets tired. And then I think they all break down with the physical pressure when they're tired. But I think Jada and Sarah have the ability to create for others, and that's going to be really important for us. They need to get Nettie the ball. They need to be our primary assist leaders in terms of getting her touches, getting Buggs touches. And so from that perspective, I was really happy that when I got on them about feeding her, that they really listened.
I think we were going to go ahead and get you on UCLA, not necessarily a scouting report, but just the opportunity to play a number one team and, kind of in that environment and everything.
Yeah, first of all, we obviously have nothing to lose. A lot of times when you're scouting an opponent, you're really focused on wins versus losses. What are the differences? Is it turnovers? Is it a particular player gives them something? Well, when you're facing an undefeated team, there's no wins versus losses because nobody's figured it out yet. So it's a fun challenge. It's a fun challenge as a coach. It'll be a fun challenge, I hope, for our players. But ultimately a really cool opportunity to represent Baylor on the national stage. In the first annual Coretta Scott Classic, Scott King. But, it's on Martin Luther King Day. It's just a special opportunity for our team. And, certainly when we scheduled this, we did not know UCLA would be undefeated or that they would have added a hall in the portal and all the things that we signed up for. But, we have to understand we're the underdog and we have nothing to lose, and to play our style and to play fast. And because Lauren Betts is really tall and she's an elite shot blocker. And, I was trying to get Jada to understand when she tried to shoot it over 42 McFarland for them, that's getting ready to be Betts, who's 6 inches taller. You got to understand that's not going to work. It's not going to work, And so, that's the decisions we make are going to be really, really important. We have to play our style better than they play their style, and they're huge. They're big at the 2, big at the 3, big at the 4. Kiki Rice is a big point guard. They're enormous. So we got to be quicker. We've got to get in transition. There's a lot of things we're going to have to do well. But that's a really, really elite team. Corey Close is an awesome person, awesome coach, and should be an awesome game.